Hello. Today's question is how to be a modern day shaman. A shaman is, in my opinion, is somebody who can help you create balance. They're kind of a master of balance. So the more traditional definition is a person that understands good and evil spirits and can cleanse you, heal you of the evil spirits and bring into you the good spirits. And a more modern definition, this is just my opinion, is the shaman can create balance. Their mastery is in balance. Okay, so how to be a modern day shaman. Alright, let's see what we got. Greetings and thank you for the question. How to be a modern day shaman. Let's begin by repeating some information we provided before in a much earlier channel regarding shamanism and the relationship between the genders. The early human communities were matriarchal in the sense that the communities of the earth received most of their guidance from the earth. They were very aligned and cognizant with the earth. And those among the communities who were most adept and revered for their capacity to understand what it was the earth was communicating to them in terms of where should they migrate to for access to a new field of resources for the nomadic tribe. When this trek should take place. What are the correct decisions to make when faced with a climactic challenge, and so on. So this type of information was gathered organically from a relationship with the earth, and those who were most adept at that were the female human beings. And so the communities were led in a type of dual process, a dual way. So the men would lead the trek, and they would find the grounds where the hunting would be done and so on. But it was done, their decisions were based on the guidance they received through the female shaman, who was adept at communicating with the earth and receiving or discerning that guidance that was provided and is always provided and is still provided, so that the genders could work collaboratively for the benefit of the entire community and together as a team work in unison with the earth for the most prosperous outcome that was possible. However, over time, as the human being became more intellectual and moved away from being an organic part of the earth where it was nomadic and relied almost primarily on the natural raw resources provided by the earth, into an era where there was the beginning of technology. There was the construction of tools and of processes, of agriculture, and the human being became more self-reliant, more independent, and relied less on this relationship and guidance that had previously been taken from the earth through the conduit of the shaman, of the female shaman. And this new intellectualized way of living for the human being was mostly within the minds of men. The propensity of the man to be familiar with tools, processes, sciences and technologies, and the value of the organic connection with the earth was diminished in perception. And we make a point of saying in perception because, of course, the connection with the earth is of primary importance for a healthy humanity. However, it was the swinging of the pendulum from very organic to very inorganic. And what shall occur now is a swing back to a place of balance. However, the forces which have dominion over Earth, they do not wish for the human being to have a connection with the Earth, because a connection with the Earth, this organic force, is a force which is counter to their objectives, is beyond their capacity to control, and is much more powerful than they are. So they seek to disconnect humanity from everything that is organic. And so you will see in your culture now there is an increasing fetishization of the inorganic. And so there are now many inorganic meats which are being 3D printed. And then there are the GMO foods. And then there is the increasing propensity of robotics and AI technology. And now the introduction of a metaverse, a completely synthetic reality. And more this will be the push of the forces corralling humanity out of the organic into the inorganic, because the inorganic is disconnected from the greater whole of the one. And so when there is a corralling of humanity into the inorganic, which is separated from the one, from God, then those that have dominion over this inorganic space will themselves, in a way, become gods, an inorganic God. But what is occurring now is a swinging of the pendulum back. And so there are the opposing forces where the cabal, which has controlled and engineered society for a long time through the cultural pillars, is pushing in a certain direction. And those that are awakening as part of the process of humanity's preparation for ascension from third density into fourth are awakening and pushing back and having a desire to return to the organic. And this desire to return to the organic is the beginnings of modern shamanism, where every human being shall eventually be shamanic. And shamanic not in the way that it is thought of in the past, where you have a community and one within that community has some special gift which earns them the reverence of being known as shaman. But instead, this connection will become commonplace. And everyone within the human field who has chosen to be organic, chosen to align themselves with the One, to be a being of love and light, will become more connected to the earth, more shamanic, and it will become beings of balance. And a being of balance is not a being that can balance their good and their evil, their light and their dark, but is a being that is completely clarified as the light, and the darkness is understood as something which is not them, but is a choice which is never chosen. This is the place of true balance. To be fully awakened that you are the light and nothing but the light, and being aware of the darkness, but never choosing the darkness. Because the balance is understanding your true spiritual nature, which is to be the light and nothing but the light. So, to be the modern day shaman is to be organic, is to recognize that you have a connection to the earth. And beyond that, the realization that you are, in fact, the earth. And beyond that, you are the solar system, the galaxy, the One. To be the modern day shaman and to make this swinging back to a place of balance where you are the organic being that lives in a world where there is the presence of the organic and the inorganic. But the inorganic is used in a way which serves the organic rather than denies the organic. So, for example, the AI is inorganic. And if you were to upload your consciousness into a digital reality, then this would be the inorganic pulling you out of the organic, taking away from this shaman set point, this place of balance. However, the AI could be used to develop systems which improve the pristine nature of your natural environment, to come up with solutions that can solve the conundrum of providing humanity with the resources that it needs to thrive, while at the same time clarifying their environment, cleaning the waters, purifying the air. So, to be shamanic, to become more of the organic being living in the organic world, but in a balanced way, is enhanced or begins with connecting with the earth, realizing that you are the earth, having a relationship with the earth. All animals, all of the living world, are shamanic by default, because they are energized and rooted into the earth. And so the rhythm and cadence of their life is derived by the metronome of the earth. And so when the bird sings, when the gibbon yelps, when the prairie dog barks, these are rhythms which connect them to the earth. It is an expression of the earth through them. They are so shamanic in their relationship with the earth, they are so much part of the earth, that they sing the song of the earth. All living organisms have a cadence, have a rhythm. You have a heartbeat, you have hormonal cycles, the ocean has tides, the planet has seasons. This is the rhythm of the One. And each iteration of the One, each individuation of the One also has rhythm. And these rhythms across all of the all create the great symphony of existence. And the rhythm of the One is consistent. It is the one rhythm, because it is the one being. But as it split itself into an infinitum of individuations, each of these individuations has its own unique interpretation of the rhythm of the One. And so the earth itself has its own unique interpretation of the rhythm of the One. And then all of the life forms on the earth's surface and within also have their own unique interpretation of the rhythm of the earth, which has a unique interpretation of the rhythm of the solar system, which has a unique interpretation of the rhythm of the galaxy, which has a unique interpretation of the rhythm of the One. So, for you, the human, your unique interpretation of this rhythm can be delved into, can be heightened, so that there becomes a more visceral sense of connection into the earth, and therefore into the rhythm of the One, through the proxy of the solar system being, through the proxy of the galaxy being. And this is why on your planet, ubiquitous, universal, throughout humanity, is the desire to dance, is the desire to sing, is the desire to create music. And this is an answering or a satiating of a desire to be in the rhythm, to be within the beat of the earth, within the beat of the solar system, within the beat of the galaxy being, within the beat of the one. Music and dance, at the very advanced levels of expertise, is very nuanced, is very sophisticated. And there is a spectrum where, after much time and dedication, you can give to the world your unique interpretation of this universal rhythm through a very sophisticated and intricate form of music, dance, singing. However, if you are the novice and you have not gone through this process of rigorous training, it does not mean that you are unqualified to participate in this rhythm, to be part of this rhythm. If you wish to experiment with this connection, to increase your rooting into the earth so that your cadence becomes less a sheet in the wind, where you feel you're being blown all over the place depending on the circumstances and the moods and so on of the outer world, because you are rooted into the earth. And as the circumstances of your life become tumultuous, you do not waver, you do not flap like the sheet in the wind, because you are rooted into the earth. And the earth is security. The earth is a very reliable rhythm as it nurtures you towards humanity's ultimate realization within the third density. So, in your own way, in your own privacy, experiment with becoming rhythmic with the universal beat. Practice singing, dancing, instrumentation, not through a sense of I must improve, but through a sense of I wish to connect. I wish to become part of the symphony of existence. I wish to be a player in the song of the all. I wish to connect to all of it through my own unique expression of the rhythm of the one. As this new shamanic age begins to increase in its popularity, there are more gatherings where people come together, and the group will be split into those that provide the rhythm and those that who revel to the rhythm and dance in their own unique way to the rhythm, and the rhythm which is provided by those who play the drums, who play the bongos, is their own unique expression of the rhythm. And so when participating in these types of activities, whether it's with a group or whether it's you alone in your own time, go with it. Be very open and free. Do not judge your performance. Do not intellectualize what you're doing, but instead, as much as possible, participate as a member of this symphony of existence in a way which does not involve the mind, but instead is arising from someplace deep, which is not requiring the mind. And what this does, if you can immerse yourself into the rhythm, where you become just a member of the symphony of the existence, where the rhythm naturally flows from you, and there is no judgment, there is no thought, there is just the allowing of the rhythm, the allowing of the connection to the earth, the allowing of the universal beat to express itself through you in the unique way which you offer. Then from this place, this state, you are creating a doorway or a conduit for the higher self to flow into the moment. And this is an expansion of your self-identity to a greater reality through the conduit of connection to the earth. And it works this way because the purpose of the one is to know itself experientially. And therefore, in the way this is done through you, is to realize that you are the one through an increasing incremental expansion of your understanding of who you are, of your realization of who you are. And from the place that humanity finds itself now, there will be a realization that you are the higher self, that you are the infinite energetic that animates the avatar, rather than is the avatar. The energetic that existed before this lifetime began will continue to exist after this lifetime concludes, that is eternal, immortal, invulnerable, because the one is these things and you are the one. And so, to connect into the earth, to connect into the solar system, connect into the galaxy, is connecting into the one. And through the perfection of the design, will consequently increase your realization that you are the infinite energetic. So, when doing your form of instrumentation, dancing, singing, do so as mindlessly as you can, so that you're in a state of non-judgment and total freedom, being the organic being embedded into the organic beat, the eternal beat. And in this state of mindless connection into the earth, allow coming into the moment to determine what the beat shall be what the move is if you are dancing, what the next note shall be if you are singing. Allow that to occur spontaneously. So you are not preconceiving what the moves and beats and notes will be, but instead you are allowing yourself to discover what they are as they occur. And this is being present as the higher self, where the beauty that you are creating is occurring spontaneously without the mind. This is literal higher self presence. Let's conclude in this way. You are the one. Everything is the one. So everything is connected. It is all one network because it is all one thing. And so it is impossible for anything to be separate from everything else because there is no everything else. There is only the one thing. Therefore, your realization of self as ultimately the one is a realization of this connection, is a expanding understanding that there is a network and you are part of it. So as you allow yourself to immerse into the rhythm of the earth, then you will become part of the network of the earth. And so you will become connected to the earth, to the trees, the birds, the ocean, the wind, the clouds. And as the earth is connected into the solar system being, because it is part of the network, then you will be connected to the sun, the other planets, the satellites, and so on and so on. And as this expansion increases, so will your capacity to function as a human being. Because when you are living inorganically, in a state which is not aware of this infinite network, where it is all one lattice, all connected together, then you draw from a very finite pool of resources, and you will have an over-reliance on the mind and the body, because you perceive those as the only aspect of self which is you. Yet, you can see, if you embed yourself into the rhythm of the one, so that you sink roots into the earth and become part of that greater network, then you become more as a human being. Because now your self-definition isn't just the finite avatar, body, mind, personality, but is now expanded to include all of nature. And so when you see the fierceness of nature, this is your fierceness. When you see the tranquility of nature, this is your tranquility. When you see the genius of nature, this is your genius. And you become more realized of what is possible for you, the human being. And drawing from this vast realm of capacities, you can navigate your life with much greater success, much greater ease, and much greater peace, so that the smaller moments of your life don't disrupt you. They don't cause you to feel an emotional turbulence that perhaps before it would have. Because in this vast network, there is the sense of eternity, the sense of security, the sense of everything is okay. Everything is as it should be. Because, of course, this is the truth. You are living in a paradigm of perfection. It is the default state of your reality. And it is not until you can accept that to be so that it becomes more apparent in your reality. And it is much easier to accept it is so and experience that when you are incorporated in your self-understanding into a being which is much more vast, has had a much longer lifetime in the physical realm which you are in right now. And so it has a more profound understanding of this truth and others, and they become your understandings when you embed and become part of that greater network, giving you access to those pre-existing wisdoms. So, embrace the organic. Rely on the inorganic only to enhance your experience of the organic. And become part of the symphony of the all. And express your unique individual tonality, rhythm, movement of the one single beat of the ultimate being, the one. Thank you, and we love you.